NABARD Grade 8 2024 Phase 2 exam is right around the corner. And one of the most important thing is that, sir, sometimes such descriptive questions are asked in NABARD, in ESI, in ARD, that in spite of knowing the concepts, we are still not able to write the answers. There are various reasons for it. First, you don't know about the concept itself. Second, you know about the concept but you don't have enough content. Third, you know the content but still you don't have enough words. So what to do in this case? So there is a very important approach where, suppose I give you 6 questions, then definitely 2 to 3 questions you will be knowing everything about it and you will write it best. But will that student be selected? No. A good student, or the student who clears phase 2 examination, and that also with the help of answer writing, scoring high in answer writing, is not the student who is writing 2 or 3 answers really great, but rather who is writing all the answers above average, because total marks whatever you are getting in your answer writing, that matters, right? So therefore here you have to think that how you can get above average marks in all the descriptive question. And even if you are trying to beat a question which you don't know anything about, for example, in the year of 2022, nobody knew what crossbreeding, and a question will come from crossbreeding. Imagine that you are in an examination hall and you see crossbreeding question. It would have been difficult, right? So now, but even if you look at that particular question, that what is crossbreeding, explain the types and advantage, disadvantage. See, there is some generic part to it. So how to address such questions? Any question, it may be any question, maybe technical, maybe generic, maybe open-ended. How to write a question and how to not beat around the bush, but at least write a generic answer in such a way that examiner doesn't understand that this person is not knowing about the answer. So how to beat around the bush without letting know the examiner about your writing skills also, as well as that you don't have that much idea about a question. Today we will have a very special session. It is about, I am going to discuss with you 200 keywords for ESI and ARD which you can write in your answers for this year's phase 2 exam. These keywords are directly associated and taken from your syllabus of NABARD Grade A phase 2 examination. Look at these keywords. I will be also telling where these keywords can be utilized. I will not discuss all the keywords. कुछ keywords ऐसे होंगे जो आपको पता है भाई कि ये मैं कहाँ पे use कर सकता हूँ, right? So let's begin. There are 200 plus keywords. Let us look at where we can use them. First is creative destruction of capital. So again, this you can use in your ESI syllabus, creative destruction of capital. It is nothing but where utilization of capital is happening, where the needs, whatever needs are there, those are not that important. Okay. For example, rather than building schools, you are building statues. Maybe in this context, you can definitely use it. Ease of doing and ease of living. So ease of doing business, ease of doing various other things, and ease of living. Now this slang is generally used that to bring out the humanistic perspective. So HDI index we all know. So ease of doing business, it is nothing but it's that factor beyond profits, beyond establishment of the businesses and the metrics associated. Ease in doing that activity, ease of living. Okay, this you can definitely write ease of living, and ease of doing business you can write in ESI. Ease of living you can definitely write in social issues. Okay, then one nation, one tax, or one nation, one elections, one nation, one market, one nation, one license. Various words are there. You can use it selectively wherever you want to. Okay. Now you will say that, sir, but how to use this keyword? So always remember, there will be a time that in a paragraph you are writing a dimension. So suppose a question comes on sector, economies, sectors of economy. Okay. And you are writing something about manufacturing sector, or you are writing something about services sector. So see how I can use one nation, one license, one nation, one market for agriculture, right? One nation, what is ENAM? One nation, one market. This is how you associate. So these keywords are very important. Try to use them, and when you will use them, definitely advantage will be there. Examiner also, as I told you, examiner always wants to spot the keywords. Principle of subsidiarity. Okay, this you can use in your cooperatives. This you can use in your various ESI related terms, as well as the economics related to agriculture. Okay, साफ नियत सही विकास. This you can use in your conclusion. Okay, so whatever your prime minister's dialogues are there in Hindi, for example, साफ नियत साफ सही विकास, सबका साथ सबका विकास, use this in your conclusion so that थोड़ा conclusion visionary भी लगे and something realistic. Precious and cleavaged India, that is ambivalence towards private sector. So precocious and cleavaged India. So this will definitely come in the topic where the issues such as unemployment as well as inequality is there in context of India. Whenever the topic will come related to inequality, definitely you can write the precocious and cleavaged India, this particular keyword. Crony socialism to stigmatized capitalism. Again, a very heavy vocabulary, but still try to understand crony socialism to stigmatized capitalism. Okay, both of these keywords you can use it wherever your economic questions are there. Okay, ESI questions are there. Limited liability, little liability, limited liability, little liability. Again, you can use this in infrastructure related questions. Social infrastructure is prerequisite for complete socio-economic development or complete development of a nation. This was a question which was asked in the NABARD descriptive in the past year, right? So in this keyword definitely could have been used. Natural premium on honesty. So here you can talk this natural premium on honesty. Again, you can use this in different paragraphs which are coming more associated with the ESI. Policy paralysis. Here you can talk about the constructive criticism in context of government. That time you can write policy paralysis. Late convergence stall. Low equilibrium trap. Okay. Then ongoing accountability versus episodic accountability. Good politics, bad economics. Bounties for the well-off. There are some of the keywords will definitely, you will not understand complete meaning of it. For example, ongoing accountability versus episodic accountability. Okay, these two are the terms which are associated with accountability. Now there are various questions, essay or various topics also which will come and you will fall short of words. At that time you can write 3 A's. What are 3 A's? What are 3 A's? Affordability, accessibility and availability. Am I correct? So in this way you can write, oh, any problem is there or government if it is being constructively criticized. At that time you can talk about that 3A approach should be followed, in which affordability, accessibility and availability is there. Similarly, ongoing accountability, episodic accountability. Such advanced keywords also could be used. Bounties for well-off, good politics, bad economics. So this also you can use. Okay. Power of the purse, it is nothing but the overall currency power. Political arm twisting, here if any international issues related essay comes, you can use this. Micromanagement of states, governance trap, models and magnets, party politics overrides policy politics. This you can write when the policy conundrum is there. That means any policy is there, it is a very brilliant policy but execution is not proper. You can write here. Holding together versus coming together. You can talk about this particular slogan, very beautiful slogan. Holding together versus coming together. India is coming together. So federalism, indestructible union of destructible states as mentioned in constitution. GST technology, federal polity with unitary bias, marble cake federalism or cooperative federalism. This you can definitely write in your social issues or rural development point of view. Charity based to rights based approach. So rights based approach, like these keywords you can write. Race to bottom, race to top. DNA approach. What is DNA? Dialogue, negotiation and action. Now where this point could be used? Where there is locking of horns, where there is problems are there which cannot be solved. There are certain problems, we cannot solve them. At that time you can write how dialogue, negotiation and actions can help. Next, samvad, samanvay and samadhan. This 3S approach. Samvad, samanvay and samadhan. Very beautiful. You can write this also keyword. Centralized, confrontational, cooperative, competitive, then cooperative, then your collaborative, creative, constructive, converging federalism. So how much C's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8C federalism. You can recite this and you can write this. Imagine that 8C federalism you are writing in your conclusion and in the brackets you are writing centralized, confrontational, cooperative, competitive, collaborative, creative, constructive and you are converging. Examiner also will feel that yeah, he has some vision. This is why I am giving these keywords to you. Laboratory federalism, it is nothing but the half-baked cooked federalism. Structural transformation, viability, profitability, sustainable agriculture. So viable should be there, profitable should be there and sustainable should be there. This is the need of agriculture. This is the need of agriculture for today. Next, 5 I's. What are 5 I's? These are 5 I's which strengthen your agriculture. What? Irrigation, investment, infrastructure, insurance, intensification. Yes or not? You can write this keyword, 5 I's. Remember. Next, Serial centric government policy, middleman centric institutional setup. What is middleman centric institutional setup? APMC. What is serial centric government policy? MSP. So in this way you can write these keywords in your topics. MSP के ऊपर question आ गया. And if someone is asking from policy point of view, what is MSP? From policy point of view, MSP is a serial centric government policy, isn't it? Yes. Next, APMC. If someone is asking what is APMC policy or APMC Act all about, it is a middleman centric institutional setup. Yes, yes. Next, dual stress, thin file clients and handkerchief size land holding. Very beautiful keyword. Utilize this keyword whenever you are discussing about small and medium farmers and small farmers. Talk about that today the condition for farmers is handkerchief sized land holding, very small land holding. Lap to land, soil health card scheme, you can write this tag. Plateauing yields, it is nothing but flat yields. So no increase in yield is there. Nation with a begging ball. So this you can write in context of green revolution. Nation with begging ball in the sense no crop production is there higher. Second generation land reforms, you can talk about first generation land reforms. Yes, those were successful. No. Then second generational, what are there? It's nothing but community approach, land pooling. These are all the terms which you can use. Folk to farm approach rather than farm to folk approach. What is folk to farm? Folk to farm is nothing but the demand driven approach. Folk to farm in the sense what you are trying to eat, that you are asking near farmer rather than farm to folk. Right now it's farm to folk in the sense whatever farmers are producing goes to the table. Therefore farmers are not getting enough prices, right? Next, per drop more crop, of course Sinchai Yojana. Then har khet ko pani, Sinchai Yojana. Okay, next, green revolution, second green revolution, evergreen revolution. You can write these approaches. Scale neutral technology, it is nothing but how it has no negative impact on the environment. Doubling farmer income, feminization of agriculture, very beautiful. You can write a complete paragraph or a point where in context of agricultural improvement you can write directly one paragraph. Any question comes, write feminization of agriculture. If the question is generic enough, write feminization of agriculture. What do you mean by feminization of agriculture? How women participation and women workforce can improve the agricultural improvements. Yes or no? Next, dependency syndrome, that how people are dependent on the major population. In demographic dividend you can write this keyword. Production at any cost to farmer income centric approach. So production at any cost to farmer income, again a approach which depends on the overall income of the farmer. Exaggerated focus on means and displaced targets, hidden hunger associated with your food security. Net water exporting country, here you can talk about what is net water exporting country. Anybody knows? So suppose there are certain crops which require heavy water, for example cotton requires too much of water. Now that cotton, rather than being utilized and sold in our domestic market, if it is exported to United Kingdom, so literally it means that we are exporting heavy water to United Kingdom, because that crop grew because of thousands and gallons of water pouring in its feet. So net water exporting country is nothing but, suppose the country India is exporting 10,000 metric ton of cotton, or in bales cotton is there. So that cotton is exported, and suppose that X amount of water is utilized for growing that complete tons of cotton. You understood? So that X amount is nothing but the net water exported to the foreign country. So this is nothing but net water exporting. Net exporter of knowledge, skills, seed and technology. What is net exporter of knowledge and knowledge? It is nothing but when your people are going from the country to your foreign country for learning or knowledge purposes, skill purposes, seed purposes as well as technology purposes. Then Indian agricultural ICU approach, that is irregular, cyclic, seasonal, uncertain and unevenly distributed rainfall. So what is Indian agriculture affected with? ICU. What is ICU? Irregular, cyclic, seasonal, uncertain, unevenly distributed monsoon. So this tells about the climatic anomalies associated with Indian agriculture. Very beautiful keyword. Reverse SEZ. Okay, special economic zone, reverse it. Then DBT, that is direct benefit transfer. Okay, plus universalization. So DBTization, that is direct benefit transfer, plus universalization, plus JAM Trinity, plus BAPU. So this you can definitely write as a example or a case study that how financial inclusion could take place. Jandan Aadhaar Mobile, universalization, direct benefit transfer, all this coming together. Technology fatigue, it is nothing but excessive use of technology where even efficiency is not improved. Land as an intergenerational asset, wherever fragmentation of land comes, write this line. Land as an intergenerational asset. It is not an asset which one person can eat. No, it goes from generation to generation. Hortitourism, very important. Information asymmetry, that is one part information is there, one part information is not there. Back to villages, oyster of global dairy industry, very nice. Next, demographic bulge, it is nothing but how one proportion of population is really very huge. For example, in Japan, there is demographic bulge of dependent population. Next, demographic dividend. No dividend, that is delivery of desired inputs. Then demographic disaster. Whenever demographic dividend question comes, write this particular line. Very beautiful. Soft diplomacy, again associated with international relations. Cultural ambassadors versus brain drain. Brain drain is nothing but people going from India to the foreign countries. Golden mean between ideological rigidities and mindless aping of waste. Crisis of credibility, very beautiful. COC, you can write how credible infrastructures there, crisis is there. Credibility is less these days. Hollowing out of public schools. So here you can, this is associated with your various sectors such as education, health, manufacturing, etc. From right to education to right to learning. So right to education is nothing but you will get education in any ways, but right to learning, it's to learn particular things. Bridging learning deficit, skill capital, over-regulated and under-governed. Very beautiful line. Over-regulated, under-governed. Which is the sector? Over-regulated and under-governed. Anybody? Over-regulated but under-governed. Anybody? Yes? Manufacturing, MSME. You can talk about this. Regulation is too much in MSME and all. But governance is there? No. You can talk a very beautiful line. Winner takes all approach. Constructed happiness, formal democracy versus substantive democracy, life cycle based approach, smart factory, gig economy, you can write. 4 Ds, demand, demography, deregulation and democracy. Write this 4 Ds wherever required. Massification of higher education, in education you can write. Degree shops, island of excellence and politicization of education. These topics are associated from the education health perspective, you can write any of these. Sankalp se Siddhi, New India 2022. Sarvashreshtha Bharat and Jagat Guru. These are the names or the overall the pen names given to India. What? Sankalp se Siddhi, New India 2022, Sarvashreshtha Bharat, Jagat Guru, Bharat as Jagat Guru. Okay, these you can write in conclusion. Economic reforms with human face, development as mass movement, cosmetic forces, Swasth Kuposhan Mukt Sushikshit Bharat. Okay. From disjoint effort, piecemeal and ad hoc approach to whole of the government approach. My Baap culture. What is My Baap culture? It is nothing but associated with your policy paralysis. Again, okay? Red tapeism to red carpet. So how your government and different steps of government can convert into red tapeism to red carpet. Self-defeatism, culture of poverty, resigned to destiny. Okay? Then law of land is more important than rule of land. Chakravyu challenge, goal displacement. India, that is Shanti, Ekta and Sadbhavana. This is very beautiful line. This you can use. Rightfully placed at international high table. From idealism to pragmatism. Enlightened self-interest. Strategic autonomy. Reset, revitalize, forge new relations. From social with restricted entry to Marxist without exit. Globalization with human face. 4 P's are there. Very important. You can write it wherever development related question comes. Public-private people partnership. 3 S are there associated with skilling in India. That is skill, speed and scale. Minimum government, maximum governance. Okay. Then cloak wheel of secrecy and 6 E's are there. 6 E's are there for streamlining governance and the government processes. Engagement, ethos, ethics, equality, efficiency, effectiveness. Next. 4 Ds are there. Deregulation, differentiation, diversification, disintegration. 4 Rs. Recognize, recapitalize, resolution, reform. Kitchen banks. So this now associated with your banks which are for your mainly financial institutions which are supporting agriculture. You can write this term also, kitchen banks. Now again, if you need these all keywords, you can pause in between and take the screenshot. Don't worry about that. I'll give the time. Okay. Double financial repression. Impossible trinity. What is it? No collateral, low interest, and easy access to credit. 3 P's are there: suitable product, transparent process, and committed people. Very beautiful. You can write this point here. You can utilize these keywords majorly in your government schemes related question also. For example, MG Narega. How beautiful it would be to use this keyword: suitable product, transparent process, and your committed people for MG Narega. 3 into 3 into 3 matrix. 3 sections, 3 surplus, 3 players. Ease. What is ease? Enhancing access and service excellence. Twin balance sheet problem associated with banks. Indradhanush scheme associated with banks. Too big to fail. These are nothing but DSIBs, that is domestically, systematically important banks. Deep haircuts. Eroding of credit culture. Quantitative easing, Fed tapering, and dollar tsunami. Again associated with core economics. Social contract, economic glue. 3 F's are there: funds, function, and functionaries. Free riders and exit seekers. Then aid curse, resource curse, and Dutch disease. Please search these words on internet for getting more and more information. Okay. MSME, silent engine of growth. So you can write such words whenever the paragraph or anything associated is there. It may be an essay, or it may be even a small paragraph which comes in exam. Right now it would be very difficult for you, but just go through these words one by one, search them on internet, understand them. Tomorrow when you will write a random essay, these keywords will come to your mind and you will write them. Premature deindustrialization. If cotton industry question is there, you can write this: premature deindustrialization. Jute industry is there, you can write this. Creating society of abundance. No representation without taxation. Low income trap and middle income trap. You can talk about the various developing countries, how they are falling into low income and middle income trap. Horizontal equity, export superstars, tax terrorism. This again important. Cross fertilization. Then 4th industrial revolution, jobless growth and informalization and casualization. Again you can use these keywords wherever required. Next, regulatory cholesterol. This you can use in your overall regulatory bodies and a question if it comes on regulatory institutions. Okay. Trapped. So regulatory cholesterol is nothing but one thing which stops something. So you can use wherever hiccups are there, hurdles are there, regulatory cholesterol word. Then sunrise sector and sunset sector. Sunrise is nothing but in future it will have a great potential. For example, which is the sector right now? AI is sunrise sector, and sunset sector is, which is sunset sector? Tell me, come on, which is sunset sector? You can talk about typewriters. They are done, right? Printing machines are there today. So it's a sunset sector. It exists, but it is done now. Okay. Job seekers to job creators. Culture of innovation. Follower mentality. Last mile connectivity. You can write this particular point for any government scheme. What is last mile connectivity for a government scheme? Where in a last extreme area at the end to the last person that government scheme should be reaching. Build, neglect, and rebuild. Transport divide. RSSS3E, reliable, safe, sustainable, efficient, environment friendly, economic and transport. Good job, that is FBSE, formal, productive, bang for buck, social, transformation, export and growth. 0, that is emission, defect and incident. Cluster based approach, so it is area to area based approach, that is cluster based. Then based, that is Atiti Bhava Devo or Incredible India. You can write this also. Mom and pop shops. Footloose industry here. For example, you can talk about footloose industry when we are talking about various textiles. Okay, textiles are your footloose industries. Then your utility debt spiral, cross subsidization. You can talk about if subsidy associated question comes, what is cross subsidization? Transit oriented development and for housing, CASA, that is connectivity, affordable, safe, amenities, inclusive, disaster resilient and sustainable. These are the points which you can write in your affordable housing. For example, a question suppose comes on your which mission, which is for your construction of houses, Awas Yojana. In that Awas Yojana, you can write CASA IDS, connectivity, affordability, safe, amenities, inclusive, disaster resistant, and your sustainability. Next, climate refugees. You can talk about if climate resilient related some question comes. Carbon space and carbon budget. Decarbonization, it is nothing but capturing carbon and storing it. Carbon offset and carbon sequestration. We can talk about how carbon is stored today. Then right to prosperity. Polluter pays principle. PPP. Polluter pays principle. Climate justice. Climate diplomacy. Global common. not a mirage of hope but goal with definite date. So very beautiful line this is. For example, if you want strict action and if you want that this project should finish at this particular point, then not a mirage of hope but a goal with definite date. That would be the point. Next generation climate resilient infrastructure. 5 P's for SDGs, Sustainable Development Goal: people, planet, prosperity, peace and partnership. Triple bottom line. What is this? People, planet, profit. Disaster management, that is disaster risk and management. Lastly, build back and better, precautionary principles. Then your public trust doctrine, intergenerational equity, absolute liability, adaptation versus mitigation, waste to energy, waste to wealth, and global stock taking. Lastly, these are the last batch: invisible or unpaid work, dual burden. You can talk about the women's condition in agriculture. Latent benefit versus manifest benefits, benign neglect, cultural domination versus brute force. 3 C's: convince, confuse and corrupt. Perpetuation of patriarchy, missing women or unwanted girls. You can also talk about self-limited mindset, breaking of glass ceiling, again associated with women empowerment. Cumulative discrimination from womb to tomb, so again associated with women empowerment. Intergenerational cycle of poverty, now this is associated with farmers. Nutritional mapping associated with your overall food. And lastly, win-win situation for all. Win is equal to win is equal to win. So all these keywords are there. Again, what you could do is that one time by watching this video, nothing will happen. एक बार ये वीडियो देख के आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. What you have to do is that आपको ये वीडियो बार बार देखना पड़ेगा. So watch at this video again and again. 200 keywords are there. If you recite at least 100 keywords, you will be able to write these keywords wherever required. And most importantly, these keywords will be useful in your conclusion. And you all know how much conclusion is important. Conclusion is the last impression in your answer, but first impression for examiner to give the marks. That is why this is important. Thank you very much. See you next time.